Alrighty. Welcome to another stream, everyone. I can't wait to work on some more art with you. And today I am just gonna do a final look over on this cover. So I have been working on it in bits and pieces over the weekend. I started painting it, I think on Friday. I think. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong. And yesterday, I honestly didn't get much painting time at all. My daughter has basically quasi dip dyed pink hair, and it needed to be redone. So that's what I pretty much spent most of the day on yesterday, going with her to get the dye and then bleaching her hair, because her hair is almost as dark as mine, and then it needs to go platinum blonde in order for pink to stick. If anybody is familiar with dyeing hair, it's a whole thing. So I am now getting to a bit more painting. I did a little bit on this today. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do a bunch on this one, but I do have it here just in case, because like right here I need to paint over this part. My thought initially was to go dark and then kind of use some white acrylic or gouache to do drips and have her body kind of dripping out into the atmosphere. I can't control those drips, and so I'm a little nervous about doing that, honestly, because if they go weird, then what's going to happen is her body's going to look weird, and that's just kind of weird. So that's why I haven't done anything on that, and so I'm probably going to paint over that dark spot. Hope, Kara, hello and welcome. Thank you so much for joining. Yay, Wayne, thank you. I will show you the whole thing. Just so you are aware, and everyone is aware, I suppose, this one is going to be quite cropped in. Really, it's going to end where her body does, but I painted outside of it just in case. You know, it's always easier to crop art that's already there than to try to extend the image, especially with paint. With digital, of course, it's easy. You can just fill that shit in. But with traditional, I'm trying to play it a little bit safer and leave extra room on the outside. So that's why I'm kind of painting beyond the limit of what I plan to crop it at. But I do plan to crop way in on this. So the reason why I posted that I was bugged that my finger painting wasn't working the other day is because that particle-y stuff that I put down and then I used acrylic ink on top of it stained my fingers. Like, my nails are all kinds of messed up now. They're like completely stained magenta. I don't know if you guys can see that. But I use finger painting as my faux airbrush right now. And so like the glow here was all done with my finger. And because my fingers were stained and I washed them and it didn't come out, I figured, well, it would be fine. But then when it mixed with paint on my finger, it started painting with the ink on my finger, and it was just the weirdest freaking thing. But anyway, I managed to fix that and get the white on there. So that's all finger painted. So it was just masked, and then so it's white paper, and then I finger painted some white gouache around it to give it that faux glow. Thank you, Wayne. I'm so glad you like it. Paul, welcome. True Deadman, it's been a while, I feel like. Carmen, hello. Mike, welcome to the stream. Thank you all so much for joining in. It's great to see you guys. I'm so excited to work on another painting. So it is a little less blown out than it's looking, at least to me, on my screen. Her skin is looking like almost completely white. It doesn't look like that on the canvas itself. So just bear in mind what you're seeing is a little more blown out than intended. But anyway, here is the final of this one. I am trying to decide if I want to put pink on like her skin in places and stuff, but I'm going to wait on that. The only thing I want to fix is right down here. But let's get started on painting number 2 and work on this one in a minute. So this was done on Twitch with you guys on Friday. I've finished it up in bits and pieces between yesterday and today, mostly today. And now it's time to work on this one. So this one I did background first, hair, and her after. I'm gonna swap that this time. And I'm going to do her first and try background second. The reason why is because it was a shit show trying to get her hair over the acrylic. It was a pain in my ass of epic proportions. So I'm gonna swap it this time and see which way works better. At the end of the day, if there are any issues, of course they can be dealt with. But I don't want to do it the way I did it last time, just because it's the only way I've tried. I'm gonna swap my method this time. Will these be for sale? Yes, ma'am. This one is a Calgary Comic-Con exclusive. Before anybody freaks out, it will be released on my and JP Roth's websites on the Calgary Expo weekend. So people that are here will be able to get it in person, and then the remaining of the limited edition quantities will be put online for those who are not here in Calgary. I understand that that's a little overcomplicated, but you know, I've been in comics for 8 years, and I have never personally had a show exclusive, so I am scratching said itch. So I hope that you guys can just deal with me and my weird little quirk. Hello, Mr. E. Yeah, it is darker in person, Mr. E. For some reason, my lights and everything do tend to make the whole thing look a lot more blown out than it actually is in real life. And then when I go to scan, it gets even darker. Probably the texture of the paper creates some shadows. I don't know what it is, but it scans darker even so. And I started going a little bit too dark for print towards the end of my foray on the interiors. So I was going darker and darker, so much so that it was getting almost too dark for print of the skin tone that we have intended for DiVinica. So I ended up having to lighten everything up and do some digital fixes to adjust her skin tone. So I'm swinging the pendulum back a little bit more, if that makes sense. No, it's not Calgary Cityscape. I'm going to make this the DiVinica World Cityscape. So it's going to be that kind of like dark, broken up, splattery shit. I'm not really going to put a lot of thought into, you know, finishing these out. They're going to look like kind of the fucked up city that she lives in. Ogre John, hello. Adam, welcome. Yeah, exactly, Mystery, and that's no problem. You can 100% feel free to let me know those things all the time. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint her skin first. So that is going to be fun. Ooh, the water is disgusting. Okay, I'll be right back, you guys. The purple Emerald City, yeah. Just like Ottawa. Lol, Wayne. I'm so excited to see you in Kansas. That's excellent news. I will be right back, you guys. Apologies. So, to start off with, I'm starting to have the convention-related dreams. And my convention-related dreams are usually things like I forgot to bring my Copic markers or whatever. I usually get these kind of dreams right before the show season begins, when I'm mulling through and trying to keep track of everything and not forget anything, do all the print runs I needed to do, all of those fun things, right? So inevitably, they're not really nightmares for real, but let's just call them that for, sake of conversation. I start getting convention-related nightmares. And, sorry, just need one of these. So my latest con nightmare is, and this is a legit dream that I had, and they are so real because they tap right into my own personal fears in related to conventions. Well, forgetting to bring pants is like a for real thing that I have done. But for me, what I did is, okay, so my latest dream was I got to a show and I realized I open up my print case and I have no prints, like none at all. And so I'm like, okay, I need to go get some prints made. So I spend the entire time at the show. The show's already begun, and I'm running around trying to find prints and get prints made. So, hey Juan, welcome. So Juan, I'm explaining my current convention nightmare. So this is a dream that I had, right? So I'm running all around trying to get some prints made. I find a printer, I get the prints made, I go and pick them up. Meanwhile, the show has been running for like half a day by this point. And and I open up the package of my prints and I'm thinking in my head, because usually like I do make an effort to like have something new or something nicer, and generally my old prints for me are yesterday's Ducky. I don't want them anymore. I want something new because my art a year ago sucks. And so I open it up with all this hope and like, okay, I'm gonna have new awesome prints and something good to have for people. And the art is horrifying. Like, horrifying. Think a kindergartner who's holding a crayon for the first time art. And this is my art, by the way. So my dream is not only that I don't have any new prints for a show, but I've also just become a horrible artist. And I can't draw for shit. Oh my God, it was so bad. And so then I just look at these prints and I know, because I had all this hope in my heart and so much excitement of like, oh, these are going to be better than any of the ones I've had before. And they're just absolute horseshit. So anyway, I'm a little traumatized right now. Sounds like your work dreams where you're 5 hours late and still trying to get to work. Yes. Anyway, good times. Maybe it's kind of, my subconscious telling me I should really get my shit together and start getting my prints ready, which I plan to do as soon as this cover is finished. I'm going to order my books print run, and then the next thing I'm gonna do is start getting all of my prints together for the convention season, because damn, I am behind. But I wanted to get this this particular print done first. I'm gonna kind of do my Calgary Expo exclusive along with all of my other exclusives for my website, all printed at the exact same time. So what that means is I need to haul ass a little bit and get this one done so that I can get everything on my website. And then this one will just be held, even though it'll be finished, and there it'll, half of it will be shipped to me, half of it will be shipped to the website. So you can expect the horse. and Carmen, I've seen you asking about the naughtier art book print, like the cover being a print. I have some that will be on my website very soon. I don't know if they're going to come around this round, but I'll talk to Dan because I already have them printed and signed. Sorry, they're signed. And they're at my warehouse, and we're going to be releasing Lady Death prints soon. Okay, I just want to get that ready. Yes, with the purple, that's right. Okay, I'm gonna get a bigger brush for her body. So I've kind of learned over my doing the skin for a while now is I do many layers, and I basically just glaze it on layer after layer after layer, and it seems to work a little bit better. I have a bit more control, and I'm never going to go pure white with DiVinica's skin because she is supposed to have slightly darker skin. So everything is going to have a little bit of a light tone, even the highlight areas. So I'm going to do slow shading as opposed to covering it all with one really dark color, which is what I was doing before. But now I've found that glazing it on top slowly is much nicer looking. And I'm not worried about going outside the lines because everything is darker that's surrounding DiVinica. So it'll be nice and easy to just cover it all up. And the environment is all painted with acrylic, so I'm really not worried it's going to cover everything. The Merc, hello! Yes, they're Brian approved. That's correct, Mystery. Bambino, hello! Other artists also layer color. Awesome. It's weird that it's so very light on screen. Sorry, everybody. Don't know what to say about that. Okay, let's just get her ear painted. Then I'll start giving her some blush and little things like that. All right, and I need to get her blush color in here. Okay, I'm gonna switch to the smaller brush again for her face. Oh, thank you so much, Carmen. Yay! Yes, the Merc. This is a cover. Ooh, and we have a few new followers. Stitchy and Chaos Fusaji Rose. Is that how you say it? I'm sorry if I'm totally ruining your guys' names, but thank you so much for the follows. All right, so I think this is dry enough for me to do another pass. So I'm going to be doing another pass of her skin tone and then adding in some blush next. Old Mystic, thank you for the follow as well. Milo and Stitch for sure. Oh, that's Mr. E pulling a fast one on me. All right, so upward turned faces like this are kind of some of the hardest to do. They can just look really strange really quickly. So I'm gonna really be focusing on trying to not royally screw the whole situation up. What's time lapse? I don't understand. What are you guys saying? Thank you, Chaos. I really appreciate it. Okay, now I'm gonna just take some clear water and do some blending out. Sorry, you guys, I'm not going to be able to look up for a second because I need to pretty much keep my eyes here and try to control the drying speed on all of this, because when it dries and it has those hard lines, I personally just don't like them. So it's a personal preference thing. I know that some people far prefer to have the watermark lines. I just personally don't on skin. So I'm a little bit finicky about it, and I have to really monitor the drying speed. Something I've found that works really nicely for helping the drying speed and the smoothness is if I use a little bit of a Q-tip along the edges of some of the shade bits. Anywhere I start feeling like I'm seeing a watermark, I'll just go in and kind of do a little erase on it so that it doesn't create those water lines. That's right, Mr. E. Oh, you know what? I found that I have a really hard time getting time-lapse videos of 11 by 17 pieces. So I'm not time-lapsing this. I suppose I could try. Hello, Gabriel. Welcome. Botox will take care of those pesky lines. So I really need the city here, and the reason why I put the city in here is because otherwise she's quite naked. And we don't really ever want to do a fully nude DiVinica piece, but like this, she's, you know, properly covered. And pinup poses just, I mean, I suppose this could count as a pinup pose, but it's enough of a like powerful stance that it works for DiVinica and her personality. I feel like oh no, I got red in it. Damn it. Some poses really wouldn't work for DiVinica and her personality, in my opinion. Like any of the cutesy ones that I would use for, say, Harley would not work for DiVinica, in my opinion. That's right. Exactly, Gabriel. Yay, you guys are the best. The pose is kind of like Batman's image over the castle from Detective Comics in the 40s. Oh, wow. Well, that's cool. I don't think I've seen that one, Wayne. Okay, and just blending out the shadows right there. Kylie, hello. Okay, it's dry. have anything new with me at Planet Comic Con, I will. I'm going to have a bunch of new prints. I'm not, well, a bunch of new prints, a bunch of new books. I'm probably going to bring some of my Lady Death comps. So like, you know, some of the books that Lady Death sends me that I get to have with me at shows. I'm going to have new prints. We're going to have a bunch of the new DiVinica comic book there. There's going to be a ton of stuff. Hence the bad dreams, because I need to prepare all of said stuff. Hello, Chris. Oh, it was Detective Comics number 31. Oh, the one with the castle. Oh, cool. It's true. Thank you, Wayne. Hello, Hanuso. There is hair in front of her. There's hair in front here. So if anybody is feeling like reporting me, please be aware that there is hair covering her whole thing. Good evening, Bally. Okay, so now I'm just trying to put the shadows up here. Hello, Stone Curva. Is that better or worse for you, Kylie? Good evening, Lee. Well, I guess I need to finish her skin quickly so that I can move on to the hair and people can see that she's not nude. Hopefully Twitch isn't going to ban me for this because she isn't nude. Oh, okay. Well, I'm glad you can still make it, Kylie. Domo, hello! I'm safe as long as I'm not drawing nipples. Yes, thank you, Domo. Somebody who knows the scene. Thank you. There is actually hair going to be covering all of this. She has very, very long hair. How are you doing, Domo? Okay, the Merc. I've been doing great, thank you. Just trying to wrap up 2 covers and then I need to start preparing for the convention year. I am very behind. I've started having my own personal brand of nightmares about it. Like getting to a show with no prints, shit like that. I'm sure you can relate. So are we getting a death booty pretty soon? You know, it's a really good idea. I probably am going to think about that and see. Okay, I don't think her face is completely dry yet, so I'm going to give that a little bit. Literally this past C2E2, I was so unprepared. Yeah, me too. I mean, my dreams are consisting of getting to shows without stuff that I needed. That's what happens usually around February and March because that's when I'm really preparing for the year. Hello, Steel Art! Welcome to this stream. Thank you so much for the follow, and Old Mystic. I'm not sure if I thanked you already, but thank you for the follow. I love new follows. I agree, Lee. Thank you so much, Domo. How are the comics coming along? Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see that one till just now. It's done. So right now it's being printed for Diamond, and I'm working on a couple exclusives right now for covers, so that's what this is. And then, yeah, it's gonna be in stores a week early on March 18th. Whoop whoop, I'm so happy. I'll try. You too, Domo. So one thing I'm trying to do is add pink into areas that I feel would have a little bit more pink. Things like, you know, finger knuckles, like hands are have more, you know, pink in them. Elbows, cheeks, nose, you know, just things like that. So I'm trying to make sure that I incorporate that. It's really hard to blend colors. So I'm trying to figure out proper blending so it actually looks nice, and then getting enough pink in all those places. And then when I want to have a little bit of like a purpley undertone, I am kind of doing that with Copic. So like here, I used purple undertone there. In a lot of the shadows, I've just found that E71 color, an E70 and E71, they're kind of like a warm purpley tone that really works for all the shadows on skin tone. So I've been using that a lot in and around to give depth and shadow and stuff like that. So that's what I use for a lot of these shadowy areas. And then I'm not as worried about water lines because I do know how to blend the Copic in. So I definitely do mix media with this whole thing. I run the gamut from like colored pencil all the way to acrylic and everything in between. Oh, interesting, Domo. That is so good to know. Thank you. And Lily Noir, thank you so much for the follow. So this is the one that I was working on the other day. I finished it more or less earlier on this afternoon. I've been dyeing my daughter's hair pink, so that takes a while. For anyone wondering, my daughter's 15. I'm not dyeing a 5-year-old's hair. So anyway, that's kind of taken up most of my weekend. But anyway, this is what I did. I used some gouache and finger painting for the glow because I don't have an airbrush and I'm not really trying to get into airbrushing. Nothing against airbrushing. It's just I'm already like going through all the other types of paint that there is, and airbrush just sounds like more hassle than I feel like dealing with ATM. So anyway, this is going to be the same character. She's got dreads and then like kind of mixed hair. It's got dreads and, you know, just normal strands of hair. So that's why I did some longer flat streaks and then splatter, or smoosh. Last time I did the background first, character second. This time I'm swapping it, and I'm just going to try to figure out which way I like more because, you know, all of this is new to me, and so we're trying out everything until I figure out what I prefer. Bleaching and color, that's right, especially because Vienna's hair is only like 2 shades lighter than mine, so it's a whole thing. Oh, I'm so glad you like it, Lee. Nick, hello and welcome. It's so great to see you. Eric is here. Thank you guys so much for joining in. Oh, no worries, Chaos. Thank you for joining. Hugs back to you, Nick. Yeah, right. This is all just a giant ass learning experience. Good times. I love it. All right, I've got to say, even though it's not really showing up very well on screen, I apologize, everyone. I guess my lights are a little aggressive. Maybe I should turn the light down a little bit. Her skin tone and the shading on her face is actually working out pretty good, which is like such a massive relief for me because every time I'm so nervous. Philip! It's true, so many people are here. I'm so excited. All right, now to try and paint her chest. This is the part that's a little concerning to me because I don't want to make them yucky. We want pretty boobies. At least, most of it's going to be covered in hair, so I don't have to be too scared. But I don't want to make them look like, they're just big stick-on fake boobs. Nothing against fake boobs, but that's not what DiVinica has. So I'm trying to, make them natural looking, but also, substance to them. What Skittles can't you find, Nick? What happened? So in order to make it look like, the top part of her boobs are catching some light, I need to make that lighter than her chest right here. So, just trying to get that going. Oh, thank you so much, Eric. It's really freaking scary, I'm not gonna lie, but it's so fun. So, the thing with translucents like Copic marker and watercolor, at least when you're doing clear watercolor, not using it out of the tube in a more opaque setting, is that, oh my God, it's, you can't like fix a mistake by going over it. You have to kind of, I don't know what you'll do. So it's, that part can be a little bit scary just because, you can't go over it with something opaque to cover a mistake. So that part scares me a little bit, but it's fun because you get to learn new things and try stuff out. So I've got to say, when it comes to choosing between traditional or digital, I will choose traditional every day of the week. It's just so much more fun for me. If I find that working with the watercolor on her boobs is just not going well for me, I will switch to Copic marker because I do know how to do this with Copic marker and I don't want to screw this up. So I'm kind of reserving that right to switch if I need to. Paul, yes, there are papers that handle watercolor much, much better. So you need to use like actual watercolor paper. The brand that I use is Arches. And I like the hot press type, which means it's just been ironed a little bit more than cold press. So I prefer Arches hot press paper. It is made for water. It does warp a little bit, but I have it taped down to a board so that it doesn't warp as much. This is kind of what a paper looks like. So I haven't like put this in a portfolio to flatten it at all. I'm hoping you guys can see this. Yeah, so it's not extremely warped, and then once I place it in a portfolio and it's under some weight, it will flatten out completely. And I have this taped down to a piece of MDF. So like this is what it looks like. And I just use regular 12 by 18 MDF board, and it's taped down. And that keeps it from warping, but it still warps a little bit. You certainly don't want to use regular paper though. That would just be a nightmare. I want Skittles now too. So right here is kind of where the top of her hip bone would be. And then it would just slightly go under her, like, there's always a little tiny bit of a pooch right under the belly button. At least that's what I do. I mean, I really like kind of almost unnaturally flat looking stomachs, and that's just me because I wish I had one, you know. And in general, I just draw what I aspire to have in comic art because it's where you can fix everything. So I kind of go put a center line in, and then there's a little bit of a shadow underneath like this. And it's just kind of the way I break up the stomach. And then it's a shadow under where the rib cage would be, and then of course a very harsh shadow under her boob line. Hello, Joby Door. Yes, this is watercolor. So right now I'm working on a cover for a series that I draw for called DiVinica. And right now I am doing the lead character whose name is DiVinica. And the whole series is about goddesses. And the issue 5 that I just finished working on, which you can find at your local comic book store soon. It'll be out March 18th. It'll be in stores. This one is going to be an exclusive cover. I'm going to be doing a alternate version with her outfit on, and that one will probably be in stores. Hello, Erin. How do you sneak food into the con? I don't think that there are any rules in cons that you can't bring food in. It's not like a movie theater, for instance. I mean, maybe some cons do have that rule, but none that I've been to. Sometimes they'll check your food, you know, like if you have, I'm always bringing my white monsters into conventions, so they always check those to make sure, you know, I'm not sneaking something in them. See you later, Chris. Have a good one. Is it easy to get a job as a comic book artist? It depends. It's pretty easy to start creating a following, and then, you know, for some people it's really easy, and a comic book store finds you or a publisher finds you and you're good to go. It's sometimes it's easy if you have a lot of luck and it just works out for you that way. Other times it's a little bit more of a struggle. It really depends, and you need to really put yourself out there. So that's a tough question to answer. It's kind of like, is it easy to be an actor? Sure, if someone finds you randomly at a McDonald's and hands you a job, or, you know, it's a struggle the whole time and it's, you know, from job to job. It really depends. Where is RICC? Oh, 100%, Erin. Somebody spilled something at my table one time, and it ruined my whole situation. Ruined all the prints that I had, ruined the commission that I was working on. It really destroyed my weekend. So yes, I don't like people leaving stuff anywhere near my art. David, hello. Yes, sippy cups for everyone. That's right. Hello, Rob. Joby, I didn't end up doing it that way. I started out with a publisher, and I work as an artist for other properties. And this one I'm working, co-creating with my publisher. So it's different. But if you are interested in things like that, Image Comics has a bunch of information on their website that explains if you're wanting to get your own comic book series picked up by a publisher. They're a good one to start with because that's what they do. And they'll explain to you how they accept solicitations for that. Okay. So her face is dry, so I'm gonna add on another pass of color on her face. So we're gonna do that now. Am I going to San Diego this year? Yes, I am, Erin. Finally, after a very long time, I am gonna be back. My pleasure, Joby, and I really wish you all the best with your comic. It's amazing. And you know what? If you have a hard time getting it picked up, you can always go to make it yourself and put it on Kickstarter. Like, there are a lot of ways. Like, the comic book industry has really expanded. And, you know, there are so many different ways that you can get in and start, you know, succeeding and doing your thing without needing someone else's permission to do so. So, you know, yes, it's really awesome to get your book picked up by a massive publisher, and I am not in any way saying that you won't, but you can also fast track it and start talking about it, start publishing it yourself, and go to a publisher with an existing fan base for your book too. And then, you know, that's a much easier way to get noticed. If you're an artist, start an Instagram page, start a Facebook page, start getting a following. Don't wait for someone else's permission, just do it. I made a comment about your line weights on Instagram. What is your process for line weight? How do you decide what to make thicker and thinner? Hello, Nicole. Thank you so much for your kind post on my Instagram. That is really nice of you. Okay, line weight. What you want to think about with line weight is I personally use line weight as light and shadow. I will do a thicker line where something is thicker or where it's in shadow, and I will do a lighter line or a thinner line where the light is hitting specifically. And that's kind of how I make my line weight decisions. So like I will do a thicker line right here to denote the fact that her waist it's to also accentuate certain areas. So I will do a thicker line to accentuate the indentation in her waist, and then I will go thinner here to show that this is where it would be catching the light. I use it in ways like that. Another place you can look for information on inking is there are a lot of books online that teach inking. Many professional comic book artists have come together and created a lot of information on inking. Search Amazon and just look up, you know, comic book inking. I had a book, I can't really remember the name that comes to mind right away. I'm really bad with names. But yeah, search it on Amazon and it'll pop up right away. And then you can get a lot more information on it too. All right, another pass on the face. Scary, scary. That's a little bit too much water. My pleasure, Nicole. I really hope it helps, and all the best with your work. So DiVinica has her nose structure, and how JP Roth and I decided we wanted her to look is kind of not my typical way of working on noses. Like, you know, for most of the comic book characters that I do, it's just kind of like I draw noses the same every time. So DiVinica is pushing me out of my personal comfort zone a little bit, and I'm having to sort of change the way that I instinctually draw noses, which is good. It's so good. I need to be pushed out of my comfort zone in a lot of these things. So DiVinica is being amazing on that score, but it's a little bit tricky for me. So I've got some learning to do. Okay, I want to dry that up a little bit. That went further out than I wanted. So I'm slowly learning that Q-tips are a glorious, wonderful thing for fixing mistakes with watercolor. I'm mixing a little bit of the red tone that I'm using for her blush and lip color, and I'm just blending that in here because I want to give her some blush. And then what I'm doing is I'm coming in with a clear, my brush has just got clear water on it now, and I'm taking it out to the edges of where I want there to be highlights and stuff. Do I do digital as well? I do, Joby Dor. It really just depends on the project. So a lot of covers that I work on for various publishers are, it's expected that they're digitally colored. So then I'll digitally color them. And then for other projects like this one, it's primarily handled traditional, so I'm painting it traditionally, which is a learning curve for me. It all is. I started out in comics. Actually, my first job was as an inker, and then I moved on to being a penciler, and I stopped inking my work altogether. I just kind of scanned my pencil lines. And I've kind of morphed and done lots of different things in comics, but now, yes, I do digital colors on my own work, and I draw, ink, and color my own work too. I prefer to draw all of my comic art traditionally. So even if it's going to be digitally colored, I will draw it by hand, I will ink it by hand, scan the paper, and then digitally color it. Oh, there's first cases in Kansas City area. Ooh. It's happening. We just heard about the first case here in Calgary too. But you know what? I'm just not gonna let the media freak me out. It's essentially a flu. Big whoop. I'm gonna have a cold. I'm telling you, I was talking with Dan about it today, and you know, big talk is easy right now. Sorry, my shoe's falling off. But if I get corona, and it's not gross, like I don't want to be on Twitch like hacking and being like gross, but if it's not gross and I have a flu, I'm straight up gonna like live stream anyway. I'm not gonna disappear on you guys, corona or not. Fuck that shit. Again, I realize I'm talking a big game because I'm not sick, but we'll see. Everybody gets con crud. That's right. I bet you half of the con cruds that I personally have had are probably going to be worse than corona. Because from what I'm hearing, it's kind of, yes, it's more contagious, but it's not as deadly anymore. It's kind of losing steam. I don't know. I don't know anything. Whatever. You've been self-isolating for 5 days. You have the flu. Aw, I'm sorry, Rob. It ain't got shit on us. That's right. We're gonna keep working. Lady Sparrows. Awesome name. Thank you so much for the follow. It's so cold here it would die. True. I know I've been getting questions from people that are wondering if I'm going to cancel convention appearances. So, for the record, Dan and I have talked about it. We are parents of 3 kids, so of course, there are things for us to consider. But we talked about it, and pretty much my plan is going to be I will be at a convention that is still open. If a convention closes its doors, obviously it's not like I can have my one-man con. So I of course will cancel if the actual venue cancels. Otherwise I will be there. All right, guys, I'm not going to look up for a minute. Your conversation is looking very interesting, but this is where I don't want to fuck up. And drying time is everything. I don't like watercolor lines, like stain lines and shit. So I'm going to be head down for a couple minutes to really focus on this part. I like smooth watercolor on skin. Or as smooth as I can get it. I'm still learning here. I love super splattery, very, loose looking watercolor on, backgrounds and all that kind of stuff. But when it comes to skin, I just like it smooth. I'm going as digital effects as possible with traditional media. It's just my own personal little pet peeve. I can very much respect other artists that I see that really let the water lines, and they use the lines and the drying time and all of that to their advantage. That's a little more advanced than I know how to do, and for right now it kind of just bothers me. So that's why I'm kind of really watching this to make sure I don't get any weird dry lines, because I freaking hate them. Just makes her look like she's got, some kind of skin problem. That's hilarious, Jovi. What are a few ways to improve art quickly? Not that it's a race or I have a timeline or anything, but I'm already seeing decent progress from earlier this year and I want to keep this theme going. Really push myself. I completely understand. The best thing you can do is draw as much as you have time for. I realize that when you have a full-time job or you're in school or whatever the case may be in your life, finding time to draw can be a challenge. Draw as much as you possibly can. Draw things that you don't feel confident in doing, because the more you do it, the more confident you are. I was watching a interview with Todd McFarlane. If you're not familiar with Todd McFarlane, then you must not be super into comic art, because Todd McFarlane is like the godfather. But anyway, what he said that he did, which I thought was fascinating, is when he wanted to, he's self-taught, and when he wanted to get into comics and become a better artist, the thing that he did is he would spend a full week drawing forearms. And then the next week he would spend drawing, thigh muscles. And he broke up the body into little tiny portions. And he would draw that portion over and over and over again in a bunch of different ways. Like, so he would flip through comics and stuff, from what I understand, and just draw that portion of the character and use it as practice. You can 100% copy it as practice if you are not taking credit for it or posting it online and saying you drew it. If you did, obviously you sketched it, but if you're copying someone else's work, credit back. But other than that, what he did was just draw those body parts. And then once he had done all of them, then he'd start putting them together in a character. And that is like brilliant. I wish I had thought of that when I actually had a bit more time to practice like that. Now I kind of practice on the job. But drawing as much as possible is the best and the only way. He is a cape master. Oh my God. Okay, Nicole, I'm with you. Backgrounds are my weak point as well. I have a suggestion for you, because backgrounds and perspective, in my opinion, is very hard to self-teach. If you just don't have it, and like, some people just, they can math without learning math, right? And they've got it for math. I don't have it for perspective. I wasn't really born with that innately in my brain. So what I did is I bought 2 books, and I have bought books for years because I'm working in comics. I need to be able to freaking draw a background. If I need to draw a character flying through the air and there's buildings behind them, I am so shit out of luck, I can't even. So I started, I've been trying to buy books. I've got, taken part in courses. Nothing has helped me like these 2 books that I got on Amazon. I highly recommend them. Actually, you can make do with just one of them to start with. So hold, please. If you are going to only buy one art book in your life, this actually teaches you. So many other books don't teach you anything. I'm going to put it here so you can see. So many other books, literally, you can get them and it's like, what? But this one teaches you. You will understand perspective backwards, forwards, upside down, and inside out if you get this book. So I highly, highly, highly recommend it. If you're only going to buy one book that's going to teach you things, get this one. Because it's the one thing that I think is very hard to self-teach, and I am self-taught. This has been my weakness for the longest time. Get this book, and then you'll be fine. And then if you want to put characters in it, Framed Perspective Book 2 is all about how to put the human body into perspectives. So you can make it fine with this one, but if you really want to, and you've got this one down, get Framed Perspective 2. I know that there's a 3rd book out. I don't have it yet, so I can't say with all certainty if you should get it or not, but this book, you must get this book. Yeah, okay, if you're taking spatial drawing in college, that's all well and good. I still recommend that book. Yes, it is a definite must get. I highly recommend that book. Okay, so that part is dry. I might now move on to the Dawn cheat. I've got a good base now with her skin tone. It's almost at the point that I could be like, okay, I'm done for now. But I'm going to move on and start adding in the darker shadows and all of that stuff. First, doubling back, apologies everyone, I need to paint her lips. After I'm done painting her lips, I'm going to move on to Copic marker because that's where I can really start fine-tuning and honing the whole situation with her skin. Watercolor is new to me. Copic marker though, I've got that one on lockdown. Lol, Adam. You are prying that book out of my cold, dead hands, man. Yeah, it's just the sequel. So there's Framed Perspective Volume 1 that I just showed you, and then there's Volume 2. You need to start with Volume 1. So if you're gonna get both and you've got that kind of money to spend, get both of them. But at least get Volume 1 for now. So much shock, huh, Kylie? Yes, apparently there is a third, Frame Perspective Volume 3. I don't have that one yet. It came out for early release last year at San Diego Comic-Con. I don't know if it's out en masse yet. I just am still working through Volume 1. I can't sign them. I didn't work on them, Nicole. But it's so important that you get those books. Like, highly recommended. All right, so what I'm doing, I'm gonna show you guys over here. You can see my messy little situation. Whoop. All right, so this is my little watercolor situation. It's such a mess. I have a really hard time as an artist in traditional media when things get messy like this, but there's nothing I can do. If I went to like clean my palette every day, I would waste all that color. I can pretty much color 2 covers of skin with the little bits that are there. And then, you know, I really don't want to waste it, but it's so messy. Anyway, I'm mixing this red with the skin tone to come up with a nice natural lip color. Okay, so here we go. We are going to, I'm gonna zoom in a teeny bit. Oh, okay, it's not yet available for purchase. That's good to know. All right, lip time. Whoop, whoop. So I kind of didn't paint in right there like I was supposed to, which is a little bit of a bummer. Watercolor dries a lot lighter than it looks when it's wet. So I'm gonna be filling this in completely. Creative chaos is important for the artist, except when the artist is such an aggressive neat freak, Bali. It's very traumatic. Yeah, what are you guys talking about? I know, I need to sell my originals on the website. I'm sorry, Juan. I don't have that many. That's the catch. All right, I'm gonna switch to, this is actually an inking pen. So I'm gonna be switching to this one. And adding in a little bit more detail now. Oh, that's awesome, Nicole. I'm so glad you're finding this a nice supportive place. That is the plan. So many people on this live stream are artists themselves, or studying art, or working towards being in comics. Kylie, Calica84, just a couple years ago was working towards being in comics, and now she is a comic book cover artist and colorist. So whoop whoop to Kylie. So we have people in here that are here to support you, and if you want, you can always join Boop Squad. I know the name is a joke, but in there you can post your art and get encouragement or comments. That is on Facebook. Feel free to join. There, I'm just gonna do Boop Squad. Yeah, huge congratulations. Boop Squad. Is that how we do it? No, I think I did it wrong. Can somebody help me? Also, I typed in Boob Squad first. Philip, thank you. Leave it to me to type Boob Squad. Yes, and then we also have some art connoisseurs like Bat Joke. We have such an awesome crew in here. Boob Squad, yep, that's exactly what I typed. And then I was like, oh shit. That is so awesome, Nicole. All the best to you, love. True. Dracane sure does. You're such a win. That's excellent, Wayne. Will I be at Boston Con this year? I will not, James. I'm so sorry. Philip, thank you so much for helping me when I did the command wrong. You were so amazing. You've got to work after stream. Oh, are you coloring covers this time, Kylie? Yeah, you got to protect me from myself, Philip, since I'm typing Boob Squad. Like a real win. A giant fail, more like. Thank you, Wayne. Whoop, whoop. 1 draw, 2 commissions, and 2 to color. Damn, Kylie. That's a lot of work. Well done. Horse says woof. Thank you so much for the follow, and Bite Size Mira, thank you as well. Hello. Okay, so right now I'm trying to get the lower lip in. And with all of this, I'm glazing as well. So I'm just doing it in little tiny bits and pieces to try to get a nice smooth look to her lips. And I don't want them too dark. I strongly prefer more natural looking lip tone. Hey, well done, James. I'm so glad you remembered the name. It's been a while since you've been on a live stream, so good memory. That's right, Wayne. All natural. Who Kylie does? No one has claimed this one yet, unless Wayne is still claiming the whole book, so I will let you know. Okay, so the dibs still stand. All right, so then Juan, if there's a first right of refusal put on this one, but then if the first right of refusal is refused, then it will be, I'll contact you next if you want me to. You have to get an arm off eBay. Yeah, Kylie, just look up boom arms for whatever phone you have, and then you'll be able to find them. Okay, Juan, I will. Thank you so much. That's right, I started out on my phone. Okay, I'm happy with the lip color. It looks natural. All right, now the one thing I want to do is just fix the shape a tiny bit. Hello, Anthony, welcome. I know, I really did sound like I stepped on a mouse. It was a happy squee. I definitely wish I was a cooler person most of the time. But it is what it is. Have there been any Sherlock sightings? Not today. Okay, so now I'm gonna go ahead and switch to Copic marker to start really fine-tuning her skin, and then I will move on to her hair, because that is needed. Wayne stays in the hidden cave of Wayne's Manor. Nice. He is kind of fat. It's most unfortunate, but, well, it's unfortunate that he has to diet. My poor cat, it's very sad. All right, so I'm adding a little bit of this pink colored pencil. It is a watercolor colored pencil. I love it because I can go over it with Copic and it'll blend the pink into the skin tone. So that's why I am adding it now, because I'll be able to blend it. You can use any brand you like of a watercolor colored pencil with Copic marker. I personally have a Caran d'Ache Supra Color 2 Soft, and this is salmon pink. They really are, Nicole. I'm gonna give her a little bit of pinky tone on her boobs because it's just a little bit more natural that way, I think. I'm gonna put a little bit on her elbow. Oh, you got it. Have you tried it, Kylie? If you've tried it, do tell. I want to know if you like it. Oh, you're still waiting for it. Oh God, that's so rough. I'm sorry. Oh, Pinky and the Boob, nice. Right now, because her hair is not painted, she is looking a little bit like, what's her name from Game of Thrones. Once her hair is dark, it won't look like that anymore. Oh, nice. A Toast 84, thank you so much for the follow. Whoop whoop. I am working on a cover today. I'm using watercolor. I was using watercolor. Now I'm going to be doing a lot of the darker shadows and higher contrast with Copic markers. So fetching my Copic markers that are on the floor. Okay, here we go. Copic markers. Emily Clark. Thank you, Philip. You are also here to help me English. Okay. Yes, here we go. I use a color. I'm going to give you guys the color code, not the name of the color. So I'm using Copic sketch markers. Personal preference, I like using the brush tip side. Again, that's just what I prefer. There are many other artists that use the chisel tip, that use the originals, that don't use Copic at all. They use a different brand. These are the ones that I use. I am working with my skin tone set. That means I picked my own. Copic has a recommended skin tone set. I don't like it. So to me, it's way too pink, orange, something. I prefer something a little bit more beige and going into the browns. Personal preference. I'm going to tell you the number codes. So that's what the number that's written on the top, not the color word. A modern Lady Godiva without the horse. Oh, Win, I can deal with that. Okay. I may need to refill. That one's looking really dry. This one's looking good. Dan is the cook for tonight. Yes. Oh, thank you, Orange Boy. Oh, and Orange Boy, I think you followed me a couple days ago. Thank you so much for the follow. For some reason, I guess because of how very porous or absorbent watercolor paper is, Copic markers tend to be a little darker on watercolor paper than they are on normal paper. So just a giant heads up. Kylie, have you tried doing Copic marker on watercolor paper yet? Did you find the same? You have some to try. Okay. Massive heads up. It's darker on watercolor paper than what you're used to. Flamingo Creations. Hello, and thank you so much for the follow, as well as Rose Link. Did I already thank you? If I did, I'm sorry. Thank you both so much for the follows. Really appreciate it. Yeah, the watercolor does suck more out, yes. That sounded a lot dirtier than intended. Anyway, just a heads up about that for sure. is it the same with other markers or just the Copics? Honestly, I don't know because I only use Copics. All right, I need to blend in a little bit more here. Okay, other side. Justin, hello. Okay, and now I'm going to move on to E70 and E71. DC, hello. Welcome back to the stream. Okay. Now I'm just going to do a tiny touch of E71. Okay, I need to refill my E41s. So I keep, I have 2 of my base skin tone markers. The reason why is because I was at a show and I ran out of my refill They didn't have refills at the con, but they did have another marker, so I bought a second marker. It's actually worked out really well for me to have that spare marker because if I'm ever out of this color, I'm kind of up shit creek, so. What happened? Oh no, Kylie, that's the worst. So this is why I love Copic markers, because you can refill them. A lot of people are quite intimidated by the initial expense of Copic markers, which I completely understand. They are aggressive. So I've kind of amassed my collection over 8 years of buying a few at a time. But the nice thing about Copic markers is once you've, you know, dealt with the gut punch to your wallet that it is to buy a set or whichever markers you plan on using. I do not have a full set of Copic markers. Then refilling them, buying new ends for you to color, it all is considerably cheaper. So it's really that initial expense that makes them a bit of a hurdle. But then after that, you're golden. You know, your Copic expenses are not something that continue forever. They are cheaper in the long run than non-refillable markers. Kylie did the math. That's amazing. Flamingo. I would say I am primarily a traditional artist because even if I am working on a comic book cover and I'm going to be digitally coloring it, I still draw it by hand. So yes, my hand to paper coordination is much better than my hand to a Cintiq coordination, if that makes sense. So yes, I do dabble. I will digitally color my work if it depends on the project. The dab pad, I'm being lazy, Wayne. I'm using the like very dirty cloth that I have here for all of my acrylic and stuff. So it's over to the side. That dirty thing. She dabbles but never double dips. Oh my god. What are some blunders to avoid when starting out in digital? I don't know. I mean, there's hardly a blunder you need to worry about because there's Control Z, so you're good. And there's nothing that like drawing traditionally is being more of an artist than doing digital work. You know, I'd say the one thing with working traditionally is that then you have actual physical art to sell, the original art. You don't want to get too comfortable with digital if you're planning on going to, say, a Comic-Con and you're drawing commissions. You got to be comfortable with paper as well. But it really depends what kind of art you're trying to get into. And, you know, some things are actually better done digitally, or that's the medium you have to work in if you're, say, doing animation or game art or whatever. Yes, Paul, I just learned that. Copics are not archival. So I am working with them just as enhancements, not as the primary thing because of that reason. And anything, all the watercolors that I've bought and all the acrylics that I'm working with are all archival. So I'm hoping it'll kind of work out. Oh, you've always been a traditional artist. Yeah, it's taken me a while to make that jump into digital, but for some projects I need to do that because it's expected that the cover would be digitally colored. X-Ray LD, thank you so much for the follow. Oh, thank you for following me on Instagram as well. That's awesome. Also, in regards to Copic markers being or not being archival, I do know a fair few comic book artists that do work in Copic for their original art, but then they do like they treat the art afterwards and they put it like, they put a film over it or like a fixative and then a glaze and stuff, which is something I'm really thinking about as well. In my art, for when I do use some Copic marker, I may start giving it some sort of archival coat. Oh, you're so sweet, Kylie. I hurt you. Thank you, Thunder Sky Doggy. Oh, it's Ted from Facebook. Okay. Ted's easier to say. Oh, thank you, Mystery. Cover artist, colorist, and flatter for Dawn. Aw. You're the best flatter ever, Kylie. Though I do 100% understand if at some point you're just like, Dawn, I ain't got time for that shit. I will be sad, but I will understand. Because you are a little too important to be flatting for me. What's a flatter? Okay, what a flatter is someone who prepares your line art for digital coloring. It basically is a pre-filled in areas. Some digital artists sell their originals as a one-of-one print. Oh, that's interesting. You guys, give Kylie a break. She's my friend. I know. Oh, this part is scary. I may even need to go with a lighter marker than this one so that I can get the proper highlights on the boobs. Kylie baiting. Yeah, you guys. Yeah, they do. All right. Where is my hex chart? All right. Hex chart time. E41 is what I'm using. I don't like E40. It's too gray looking. I might use E50. That's the closest one. E50. You are, Justin. Cool, Kylie, well done. Facebook and Instagram are really not making it easy for new pages, or even, you know, it's not easy for me either. I keep losing so many people, and then, or, you know, people close their accounts, and my page, it's kind of depressing a little bit to be aware of and sort of following the numbers game of your social media. It's the worst, man. So it's really good that you're getting up there. Oh, you guys, thank you so much for supporting Kylie's page. Actually, you know what? This is a pretty decent color for transitions here. I'm gonna do a little bit more on her face because this color is a little bit lighter. So I can do slightly more subtle blends in the places that I wanted to, but I couldn't with that other marker because it was just a little bit too dark. Oh, always, Kylie. There we go. I'm pretty happy with her boobs. You know, they're not like basketballs on her body, but they're good enough. Yeah, I'm telling you, Instagram it's been like much harder to get likes and follows than it was even just like late last year. It's really taken a giant ass nosedive. You're all pretty pleased? Yay! You're very impressed with my restraint on her boobage. Yeah, I'm telling you. Imagine Cosplay, thank you so much for the follow. I know, I'm telling you, Kylie, it's so difficult. You thought I was talking about Kylie's? Oh, oh, that's funny. Yes, she's going to be covered. I have pencil drawn in hair right now. I'm going to paint that afterwards, and then I'm going to do another version where she's wearing a outfit. No, that's great. Thank you for the follow, and lurking is just fine. The outfit will be a patch. That's right, Wayne. So I'll have both versions. Though probably the outfit one is, well, Joe and I are still talking about it. The outfit version may be used as a diamond cover. And then the risque version will be our limited exclusive. But yeah, I learned how to do patches. So I'm gonna see if I can do it here. But I think so. I've been mulling it over in my head, and I think I have a plan. Yuli the boy, thank you so much for the follow. Possibly, Kylie, yes. We're Joe and I are still talking about it. We're gonna wait and see what you know, how it turns out. If I don't like shit the bed. Raid, yay! Thank you, Manisha. And to everyone who is joining in, thank you so much for the raid, guys. I really, really appreciate it. Woohoo! It's been a long time. Squaz, spilling your drinks in chat. Whoop, whoop. Welcome to the stream. Today I am working on a comic book cover for a character called, well, character and series called DiVinica. So this is a series that I co-create with my friend JP Roth. The book is coming out March 18th. This is a limited edition cover that I'm working on. And then I'm gonna do another version with her outfit. Same basic thing. I'm working in traditional media. I just finished a passive watercolor on it, and now we're using Copic marker. And thank you to all the new follows. Origami Pete, thank you so much. Justin and Mr. E and Philip, thank you guys for running all the commands. You guys are amazing. Oh, thank you, Manisha. How was your stream? You did a body paint of Batgirl, and I thought it would be fitting to send her. Aw, Manasia, thank you so much. You are amazing. I really appreciate it. Aw. I'm gonna need to go check. Everybody go check out Manasia's page and give her a like and follow too, because she is amazing. See, I want to. All right, I'm already following, but I need to go open link in new tab. There we go. Because I want to check out your Batgirl one. For sure. Yes, thank you so much for the raid. I really appreciate it. Yeah, go check out Manasia's page, Gabriel. Oh, thank you, Neutronoff. So I'm really not worrying about the Copic marker going into the city or even behind her. I'm not trying to like stay in the lines because the whole background is going to be painted with acrylic paint, so it's going to get covered anyway, and I can be a mess. Aw, sorry, Neutronoff. I have a Harley right now as my print of the month on my website. It's the Suicide Squad date night Harley outfit. So you can always go check that out and see if it's one of the Harleys that you're interested in. And are you from here in Calgary, Neutronoff? Dual Dawn has got to be traumatic, Justin. I wouldn't subject myself to that. Damn that copy, Dawn. It was like a scary echo torture. Lol. Thank you guys so much for following Manasia. All right, I switched to my other E41 marker because the other one was getting empty. Yeah, that's no good, Nick. I know, it's so un-Canadian. Giant fail. Me in 4K. That's also traumatizing. Right, so I'm trying to make sure that the direction of my marker is the direction that like her rib cage is taking. So I'm kind of going downwards and curving in like so, basically following the rib cage. Oops, I'm sorry, Neutrono. For some reason I remember there was one day when you joined and there was someone else and I thought that they were from Calgary, or maybe it was you from Calgary. I'm really sorry. Yeah, Sweden is a long way to ship a print for sure. I apologize. You really can't win, Justin. Unusual Freak. No, they are also, those are also colored digitally. So some of them are colored traditional. I kind of flip-flop, except I draw my art always traditional, and then it's I'll scan it and digitally color it, or I will traditionally color it. It depends on the project. Me and 8K. No! And hello, Tom. Oh, thank you, Unusual Freak. I'm either T15 or T30 because I have excuse me, Dan is cooking, so I'm just kind of waiting for the text. Excuse me. I think I need to get some water. Hold, please. V6 Sonoma, thank you so much for the follow. And Jax Decay, thank you as well. Water break. Yeah, Dan's cooking, so he'll call me when it's dinner time. Oh, your Dan. Dan is my husband, and so today he covers cooking dinner for me so that I can go live on a Sunday afternoon. Yes. I will. Thank you, Neutronov. All right, hand time. You're having Costco cake? Are you having the tuxedo cake? That one is really good from Costco. Tomorrow is spaghetti night for you guys. I think tonight is spaghetti night for us. You probably are, Kylie. Ew, it was still moving. Gross. They do, Wayne? I mean, not Wayne. I'm sorry, Nick. They have pho noodles. What is it? Is it pho? Oh, wow. Yeah. Good night, Neutronov. Take care. And thank you so much for coming by. How long have I been streaming on Twitch for? A year and a half, I think. I'm not like a daily streamer though. I'm kind of a 3 times a week on a good week streamer. Lara Craft, thank you so much for the raid. I really, really appreciate it. Welcome, everyone. You guys are amazing. Tomb rated, yay! Hello, hello. What was your stream about? And Laura, let me make sure I'm following you already, and if not, I apologize, and we're gonna fix that right now. Opening your page, let's all go follow Lara Craft. Here we go. Following right now. Thank you so very much. So what were you working on, Lara Craft? Jimmy Dean, thank you so much for the follow. I know, this is like one of the biggest streams I've ever had. I really appreciate all of you being here. Thank you so much. You were working on some sketch card rewards for your sub viewers. That's amazing. Thank you so much for the raid, and I just went and followed your page. I feel really bad that I hadn't followed you already, but I did. And everybody else, go give Laura a follow. It's almost like the holiday party. I know. Oh, thank you, Kylie. Am I planning to go to Heroes this year? I am not. Are you going to be there? Aww, I'm so sorry, Chicago. Oh, you're such a sweetheart, Laura. Well, you know, I generally go every other year to most conventions, except for Calgary because it's my home show. Dual Dawn is dead again. Good. You only hold it against everyone until this year's party. Yes, we will do more Waffle Man for sure, if Dan continues to play along. This time, it's not a good time for conventions. That's true. But if a con is still running, I will be there. I'm not going to self-cancel unless I'm sick. Obviously, then I wouldn't go to a show. But yeah, otherwise, I plan to still go to conventions. The only time I will not go to a show is if the show itself is canceled, like Emerald City Comic Con. East Coast Comic Con got axed. I didn't know that. Or wait, is that Emerald City Comic Con? You're gonna apply to Toronto Fan Expo? Oh, sweet! Hard time being a geek. I know. Hunger Verified and Vestigial V, thank you both so much for the follows. Yes, Emerald City has been postponed. True. It hasn't been canceled. My bad. No, it got postponed, Nick. They said that they're going to try to, they're trying to secure a date in the summer. But yeah, I think there were too many cancellations, or people just didn't, didn't want to go. I guess it was just too risky. Thank you, Hunger Verified. Yeah, and you have good reason, Wayne. You got pneumonia in New York, so you know it's rough, man. And that was before anything was going on. I very much have respect for you in your decision to not go to Emerald City, for sure. Campbell was going. I'd go to a JSC con. I know, he was... Devin! Hello, hello! Welcome to the stream today. Elderly, infants, and underlying health issues are the people that need to be concerned. Correct. All right, E70 and E71 is what I'm using now. I need to put some darker shadows under her neck and things like that. So E70 is the first thing we're gonna do. So these are kind of like a very desaturated purple, or a beigey purple or something. And they work out really well for skin tone shadows. Officer Sandwich, I love your Twitch handle and thank you so much for the follow. Thank you, Justin. Oh, thank you, Kylie. Undercover cheeseburger. Not yet, Devin. It's looking like, you know, there's a promising one that I don't know. The final decision has not been made yet, but you know, there's been such a good offer. I kind of would be surprised if doesn't take it. 41. Her hair is dark brown. And then it has blue threads and beading, like Kylie just said. So that is what she looks like. So this is the other cover that I finished. This is the one that I'm hopefully trying to finish. The belly button be poppin'. We haven't, Nick. We really haven't. We need to get that, whatever it is, wherever it's streaming. I don't know. You must adult in the morning. See you later, True Deadman. It's on Crave. Okay. We don't have that. Eventually, I'd like to get Amazon Prime, because there's a lot of shows that I want to see, but none of them are on Canadian Netflix. Bummer. Though, I have to say I have watched two shows on Netflix lately that I don't feel like super cool or anything that I watched and enjoyed them, but I sure as shit did. I watched The Circle. That was really fun. I didn't like it at the beginning, but then it actually ended up being very fun. So I watched The Circle. And then I also watched, what was it called? Is Love Blind? I think it's like a marriage reality show where they like have to propose to somebody before even ever seeing them. They just talk in these little pods. It was kind of fun. Sayemo, is that how you pronounce your name? Thank you so much for the follow. Your roomie watched it? I started watching The Witcher. The catch is, for starters, I loved watching it. I would watch it if it was only for the sake of watching Henry Cavill because he's awesome looking. However, I have to actually watch it. That's the problem. I don't really have time to just sit down and watch a show. I'm not working on anything digital. So if I am working on digital, I can have the Netflix in a small screen right next to my Photoshop and I only have to shift my eye a little bit. But when I'm working on stuff like this, actually wanting to see said show, I'll never get any work done. So I haven't been able to watch anything in a long ass time. Yeah, everybody keeps telling me to watch The Boys. Again, it's not on Netflix. It's the only thing that I subscribe to. He almost missed his chance to be Superman because he was playing World of Warcraft. So like he was gaming and he almost missed his whatever it's called. Jesse is obsessed with the Love is Blind show. Yeah, I watched the whole thing through. He was raiding and missed the call. Oh my god, that's hilarious. So I'm using E70 and then I'm blending it out with E41. Thank you, Wayne. Still your favorite from this year was Umbrella Academy. I really need to finish watching that one. So the reason why the inking on her boobs is kind of like a dotted line, it's because that's where I have her hair sketched in. So of course I didn't want to ink all the way through and then have a weird inked line going through her hair paint. So that is why there's breaks in the line art. Oh, Shelly2722, thank you so much for the follow. They're intermittent boobs, that's right. Oh, that's funny, Chicago. All right, so now I need to put a shadow on her boobs from her hand. Because her boobs are rounded, I need to make the shadow basically rounding as well, like so. I'm not going to bother doing the shadow from the hair until the hair is in. Underscore Funk and Stargate Teetle? Thank you so much for the follows. Shout out from Winnipeg. Oh, hello. All right. I'm really happy. I mean, I'm sure there are things that I need to work on. Like, I'm not 100% on this side of her body yet. So I think I'm going to work on that now. There's really no point in me getting really into, like, doing the first pass of color on her hair or anything, because I'm going to need to leave in, like, 7 minutes. But maybe I'll go live a few extra times to wrap this piece up, if I'm able. Maybe I'll go live tomorrow or something like that. I'll keep you guys posted. If you're following me on Instagram, you will be notified. If you're following me here and you have notifications on, also you will be notified. So I will possibly go live tomorrow to keep working on this, because it's fun. And then I can work on her hair tomorrow and the background. I'm really hoping my Amazon order of my new X-Acto blade comes before I need to do all of the the masking, because I'm telling you, my X-Acto blade is kind of as sharp as a freaking butter knife, and it's really frustrating me. Sargi, thank you so much for the follow. Not when you're asleep. Okay. Aw. Sorry, Anthony. Aw, thank you, Anthony. Oh, that's a good idea, Kylie, because then I can raid you. Oh, is Juan leaving? See you later, Juan. Lots of love to you. Oh my god, I almost started coloring with like the darkest tone I have. That would have been so bad. I meant to use this one for a light blend and I almost used the freaking wrong color. That would have ruined the piece. Kara hates Cavill? What? All right. I know a lot of you guys were talking about the eyes, or I can't remember who was saying they'd like to see the eyes done. So let's paint the eyes. I'm pretty sure I have enough time for that, and then I will go have dinner with my family and get ready for Monday school day. All right. Okay, so the first thing that I do is I add a shadow. I use kind of like a purpley black. Of course, way watered down to be like a really light purpley gray. And that's what I use to kind of do the whites of the eyes. Lol, make them lunches because Monday morning with kids is coffee intensive. I make 5 meals every morning. It's intense. And Dan makes his own breakfast and I don't eat breakfast. Between the 3 kids, I make 5 meals. I make all 3 of them lunches and both boys breakfast. Vienna also does not eat breakfast by personal choice. And also she gets out of bed about 5 minutes before I need to take them to the bus. I have no idea. Okay, so that's the first thing. I always do like a shadow in the eye because pure white whites of the eyes is kind of unnatural and it can be a little off-putting. How old are my kids? My oldest is 17 and a half, and then my middle child is a girl. My oldest is a boy. My middle child is a girl. She's 15. And then our youngest is a boy as well, and he is 9. So I have two boys and 1 girl. All right, DiVinica has green eyes. I start out with a pass of a very light color, and then I add in more shadow with a darker tone. Gimme. Nice, Kylie. Okay, I just need a little bit more of my darker green. It's kind of like a really dark forest green that I use afterwards. Oh, wow. Manisha, you're going to be so tired. I hope that you make it okay tomorrow. Thank you again so much for the raid. Get some good rest. And yeah, I really, really appreciate it. I've kind of felt like rating was dying in Twitch. Like it just hasn't been happening at all. So thank you so much. You need to sleep. Go to bed. And I definitely want to pay it forward and go raid somebody because Lara Craft and Manasia were so kind to raid me. Thank you so much, both of you. Dancing Batman. Yes, I am. I am from Calgary, so I do go to the Calgary Expo. Yes. Thank you, Lara Craft. You are such a sweetheart. I really appreciate it, and I promise to catch you back. Thank you so much. You met Henry, and he's a cool dude. God damn it, Wayne. Did you make him do like any kind of crazy wig or pose or anything like that? Well, I want to, Lara Craft. That is amazing, Dancing Batman. Whoop whoop, I look forward to seeing you there. All right, since we still have a little bit more time and I haven't received summons yet for dinner, my husband is cooking dinner tonight like a sweetheart so that I can live stream with you guys on a weekend, which is easier for everyone to get to. No way! Oh my God, Manasia, that's amazing! Thank you so much, I'm honored. Oh, I'm so sorry, DC. Yes, you need to go to bed. Am I doing the fasting schedule? I am, Lara Craft, every day, except for weekends. Weekends I have sugar and milk in my coffee. But yes, every weekday I fast until noon. So I do the intermittent fasting. So I wake up, I snooze my alarm, but I do get up at 5:15 every day and I fast until noon. And then dinner is my last meal, obviously. And then I don't eat again. So I fast from about 8 p.m. until, or 8:15 p.m. until noon every day. Oh, is Yo-Yo here? Hello, Yo-Yo! Welcome! So good to see you here, love. Chork1129 and Dancing Batman, thank you both so much for the follows. I really appreciate it. Sweet, Laura, that's awesome. Yeah, I've found that it really, honestly, it's the thing that's helped me manage my weight, especially with all the travel and, you know, crazy eating that happens at cons, and I am not careful with what I eat at conventions. If somebody brings me a bag of gummy bears, I eat the whole thing. Usually on the same day that they gave it to me. Am I overtime? Whoops. Okay. And I just got the text that dinner is ready. So it's time for me to go. I'm going to just thank you all so much for all the follows. Thank you to everyone who is watching. Let's raid someone. I'm going to go see who's on. Let's see. Who can we raid? Ooh, Ink One. Oh, he's gaming. Let's see. I want to raid someone who's drawing. So, let's see. Nagisake. I like her art. Let's see if she's on. And drawing. Oh, damn it. I'm always getting the ads. But anyway, let's go raid Nagisake. I love you guys so much. Late night eating at cons, I know. You'll stream again? My pleasure, Nicole. This is the place to catch me if you have any questions regarding art. I don't think we're supposed to. Raid. How do I do that again? Raid channel. Here we go. Let's do it. And Nayachi is also. Let's raid. See what Nagisaki's doing. Okay, so it doesn't look like she's drawing. Let's go back. Gregory Hippo. Yeah, let's raid Gregory. Here we go. We're starting the raid. I love you all a ton. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for the raids that I received. Thank you to all of the new followers. I appreciate it so much. This has been tons of fun. Let's start the raid. Bye. Thank you all so much for joining in. 60 people. Whoop, whoop. 71. Let's raid. Okay.